Do you wanna ride with me? Ride with me. Yeah, I said these niggas got to try to get me. Ride with me. Ride with me. Yeah, I said these niggas got to try to get me. Ride with me. Ride with me. Yeah, I said these niggas got to try to get me. One shot. I know it's coming.
What's up, family? Thank you for tuning in again to Real Talk, the Blacks Real Talk 101, the Gangsters channel. When we hear the word black, meaning a lot of times something clicks off. Saying the word black to Negroes or black people in general, skin color wise, it's like a form of kryptonite. You try to get away from it. But thank you for tuning in, those who are. And may God bless you. And that your eyes may be open as well. That's a blessing in itself. That you can recognize what's going on. And conclude from your own tuition. As we begin to look in these things and even touch down in today's topics. Conspiracy theories. Now, there was a gentleman, which I don't get into this, but I'm going to go ahead and talk on this real quick. There was a gentleman named David Icke. I know some of you already probably heard of him and know his work or, his speculations and all this other crazy shit that he's talking about some lizard people. Now, I won't call them lizard people. Me personally, I would call them the serpent people, who the spirit of Satan dwells with, the demon, the devil, the deceiver. Now, I'm going to show you guys something, and I want you to pay attention. Because sometimes we see these people on television, and we're not really looking. It's a lot of things pass us by, like we don't catch it. Sometimes people talk to me about certain things, or if I hear a little whatever, it flew over my head. I may not catch it right then. I may not realize what they were saying until I think about it. Well, it's the same thing as the eyes not catching certain things that it sees. So now, David Icke, who believes in lizard people, that we have lizard people among us. Somehow they, whoever have it came about that they put in their DNA from a lizard or whatever and kind of like added it to the human DNA. Some kind of characteristic or whatever. Is that possible? Who knows? Can they have these traits and can they do this? Who knows? I won't put it past these wicked people. I mean, after all, they're turning everybody into sodomites. Somehow, some kind of chemical imbalancing that they causing, the hormone or whatever they're doing. Science word for it to do some things in the body that, or put some chemicals or whatever may be in the human body, maybe from the beginning as a child. Probably snuck it inside some of the shot fluids that they give the babies. And all of a sudden the babies grow up and then they feel a certain kind of way and, so and so and so. And now, they poking these people, giving them some of that homo juice, turning everybody into bisexual men. Now, back to the lizard people. And again, conspiracy theories, just conspiracy theories. They talk about these goddamn alien people and how they look and all that other stuff. And I don't buy that stuff. You know what I mean? Goddamn creatures flying, creatures flying a goddamn on flying saucer. That's their take on a UFO. Green people. And enough, if some of that's true, meaning that there are human beings flying chariots, it'd be like the devil, the serpent man, to put out there are green people. Little green creatures. Right? I'm just saying. They would do something like that. But anyway. Back to what's at hand. Looking at these pictures, and based on David Icke's conspiracy theory, it makes me wonder about this. Why am I looking at a person who was on television on the Steve Harvey show? You guys can go look this up, when the lady said, what does she need to do if she's around black people? And they discuss about slavery, and Steve Harvey said, tell them that you don't give a damn about slavery. It was that segment. So you guys can find that somewhere, and you're going to see this lady who's talking, who's asking Steve Harvey this. But why is her eyes, look at her eyes. That's very, very weird. Why are your eyes looking like amphibians, or a goddamn amphibian? A reptile. You see what I'm saying? I'm looking at this and I don't know, it just, when I saw this, when I was actually watching it, because, I'm big on the slavery stuff, somewhat. When I hear about it, I'm like tuned in to see what the hell they talking about. And that's when I heard Steve Harvey, when he said, basically being a mouthpiece to say such thing. And I'm looking at her and her fat, chubby face, and I noticed the eyes was looking weird. So it was looking so weird to me that I had to look and see and ask myself, what the hell is this? What am I looking at? Why this lady's eyes looking like this on TV? So it wasn't just this one that I noticed, but when I saw another one, I also noticed this. And I'm looking in the comments, and a lot of people not saying anything weird about it. And I'm looking at it like, what the hell is this? Because I'm a person who like eyes. Women have beautiful eyes. I look at their eyes, so and so and so. But eyes is one of my attractions, I believe. But anyway, not looking at her eyes, but when I'm seeing people talking, I'm looking in their eyes. And that's when I noticed this and why it looks so weird. And I'm looking at this guy right here. And his eyes looking weird, like, what the hell is this? Yeah, nobody's in the comment box comment like, look at this dude's eyes. But I'm the nigga who's saying that. Look at this nigga's eyes. Why is his eyes looking like that? They playing some practical joke or what? What's going on? Eyes that look like a creature's eye or a reptile eye. And it makes me wonder, is it the identity of a serpent people? In those ancient days or whatever, they found probably some drawings of snake people and all this other shit. And it always go all the way back to the book sometimes, and it makes me wonder about that. Is that For real, for real. Is it really a serpent? Was that the nigga in the garden? Physically? I'm just saying, you know. And out of all the animals, why a serpent? I mean, there are other animals who are crafty and look innocent, you know, and beautiful, but yet are killers. When the tiger, when his beautiful stripes, observe what he wants. He you know what I mean? Like, why a serpent? Is it really the identity of those who we call the devil? Is it the same identity that they call in those days our ancestors and those of the Indians or those native people were saying the same thing, the serpent people? And they know exactly who it was. But yet now he has found himself and found his way into other civilizations who he has put on the clothes and the identity of other nationality of people. He's the cowboy now. He's the Indian. He's the Egyptian now. He's the Jew. He's the karate man. He's King David. He's Jesus. He's putting himself in everything. And I'm saying this not to discredit what the prophet's saying, who the serpent is. And I'm just saying in my curiosity, and I won't dwell on this anymore, is this because I recently, and this is something that like flew by me, but which brought me up to this video. I was working, I'm not going to disclose where I was working at, but anyway, I heard a man, two Caucasian men talking, and one was saying to his friend, you know, he was trying to figure out what he wanted in the store. So he says, I want ice cream because I like to eat dessert first. So there was an upcoming customer who actually, I guess, heard what he said, and she, you know, added herself into the conversation. She said, oh, I like dessert too before I eat. That's what we lizard people like to eat first. So the guy, as he was being interrupted, he said, oh, how you doing? Excuse me. What's your name again? Who are you? Like, he was like saying, like, you know, what's your name? It's like a greeting or whatever. How you doing? Who are you? She introduced herself, so they started talking, you know. And then what I caught on the side of my eye as I was turning around, you know, they was getting ready to leave, and they did some kind of handshake. I don't know if it was a handshake or tapping of hand to hand. That's what I wanted to share with you too. I remember I was saying, like, what was all that about? You know, I didn't really pay any attention. It just flew across my mind, and I just like, why she say lizard people? And that what made me look into more of that stuff, because actually hearing two real people talk about that based on saying about how they eat dessert first, like they like to eat dessert first, because the guy was just talking to his friend like, hey, you know what, I don't know what I want, you know, I like to eat ice cream before I eat, so I like my dessert first. And that's when a lady was also next to them who was actually looking for us something to, I guess, some dessert or whatever. She's like, that's what we lizard people do. It was kind of weird. This identifies who these people are, that they are really, as the prophets brought out, they are the deceiver. They are the devil. They are the serpent. And I'm just saying, that's what I'm looking at. And just look at these pictures, and you may see, when you see these clowns talking on television, look in their eyes. Look in their eyes. Let's see how it looks. Until then, what if it is? Holla.